Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition of the AFC Championship game on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we'll get you out to a frigid Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City as we welcome in our men in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
You must be dreaming. SOS.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Mike, come on, D.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And that will be incomplete. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
Fielded at about the 28. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense.
They'll start the drive with Harris. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down now, it's Harris. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Let's go.
That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
Let's go, baby. Check.
At the Chiefs' 37-yard line.
On second down, Meeks. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. And here's Allen. Going to throw again. Going for it all. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. In for the score, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And it's 7-0 Buffalo.
Makes the score Bills 7.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
And now here comes Kansas City. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. A look now at the Buffalo defense. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I was so proud of you in our meeting with the defensive coordinator because you asked the question that set him off. And all you said was, so what improvement do you need to see this week, Coach? And boy, he got fired up, didn't he? Takeaways. We need turnovers. We got to create them. Got so animated, jumped up in our meeting. It was fun to watch.
Somehow I always upset a coordinator in those meetings. Yeah. But they like you. Mahomes going to throw. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. And that's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Rashad Penny, but it'll be 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On 2nd down now, it's Harris. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That one good for 21 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
On 3rd down, Harris. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
He'll buy some time right. Throwing right, and that's complete. Tally, that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC Championship. It's a first down. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 49-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. Let's go one more.
From the 31, Allen. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Boom! That's how we do it, baby.
He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation.
A 58-yard attempt.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
I'm coming after you.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the grab. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And he missed it. It's no good. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to. Well, they tried the field goal from just inside of 70 yards. It missed, and now this offense set up nicely in midfield. Here's Harris. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Allen. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Allen. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Drew Sample there to make the grab. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he finds Penny. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line.
I know you felt that one. I know you felt that one.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. This is taken around the 12. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they can really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
On second down, it's Harris. And this will set them up nicely deep down at KC territory. A big play here for the Bills. 56 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And now they'll throw with Allen. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, and it's second down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Bills on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Here we go.
AFC title game, second quarter action. 2 minutes to play. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual. As we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. Now there's also a flag to go with it. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on first. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Mahomes. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Mahomes now to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Mahomes. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense. as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action, it's Mahomes. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in.
Come on now.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. The Buffalo defense does its job, and it's 4th down.
Harrison Butker on for the field goal. A 28-yard attempt.
Butker's kick here is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And a very good return, but a penalty marker is down.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is going to be.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll run with Harris. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Let's go, D.
They'll try the right side with Harris. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. So we come upon halftime. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it.
Keep playing hard, fellas.
One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Throwing on 2nd down. Allen, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now a pass hauled in downfield, and he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 36. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
This will be caught inside the 10.
Let's go!
23 yards on the play. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Great job. Touchdown for
Josh Allen saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Well, Charles, fans around here, they were already talking Super Bowl. They've made plans. You just can't look past anybody in this league, especially this deep into the playoffs.
You would think that every year that message would sink in, and it feels like every year we see something like this, especially the way they're handling them, all right? You didn't expect this part to happen, but when you're playing this deep in the playoffs, every team's dangerous.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Let's go.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Again, it's Penny. Looking to find a lane, but he can't reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking.
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. J.J. Watt. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
He's going to fire one deep. Middle. It got his man. Complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. A big play here for Buffalo. 46 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. This is Harris. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. On 2nd and 9, Allen. It's brought in by Harris. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 29-yard line.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. J.J. Watt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Flush, and he's going to go down again. J.J. Watt getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. J.J. Watt, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
The Bills send the punter out. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're talking.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Here's Mahomes to throw. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. This is fielded at the 27. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run again with Harris. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one a first down pickup of 8. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On 2nd down now, it's Harris. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Meeks, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game and you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
We got this.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed a push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Check right 54. Right 54. Let's go deep.
They run again with Harris. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal. On play action, Allen. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Elliott now to add the extra point.
You know, in golf, they often talk about playing the course and not worrying about what the other players are doing, what their scores are. That's essentially what we're seeing from this offense. They're just having fun and doing what they feel like doing today.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for it. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
On the draw, this is Penny. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
The Chiefs on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Don't be scared of it.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And Walker has it. And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Right there, 54, right there.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Mahomes going to throw. He's got it. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter, it's a good running back dive play.
I'm here all day.
They'll set up to throw. They set up the screen to Penny. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got plenty to catch.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Lay down.
It's a pickup of 3.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris. And all that hard work has paid off. They're AFC champions, and on to the Super Bowl they go.
It's got to be an amazing feeling for them, doesn't it, Brandon? The idea that you've done it all that hard work, all that sweating, all that effort, all those times you're getting yelled at by your coach, and now you get to go to the Super Bowl. Put your hats on, guys, and say AFC champs.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.